Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda if you are new here. In this video, I'm going to be sharing my 5 nights of dinners with you guys. These are just 5 dinners I rotate throughout the week, throughout the month, for a couple months. These are like recipes that I can eat all the time and like that I crave. They're so good. They're very filling, really great in points and calories. I leave everything on the screen for the points and bites and calories, and then in the description box right over here there should be a little tiny arrow. If you click that arrow, that will bring you to the description box where I leave the recipe and how to make these recipes individually. So check there, that's where you can find how to make this. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, show me some love, give me a thumbs up, comment down below, let me know which one was your favorite recipe that you're gonna try. And yeah, thank you guys so much for your support and watching this video. I hope you enjoy. And let's just jump right into the first recipe. Alright, this is one of my favorite dinners ever to make. It's just burgers with Velveeta and onions, and I like to wrap it in a lettuce wrap. So I'm using 96.4 extra lean ground beef, and then I'm using Velveeta slices because they melt the best. I'm going to use some onion. We're going to saute some onion. I have some salt and pepper, and then some PANKO and flour because that really helps bind this burger. So first step is cut your onion into really small dice-sized pieces. That's how we prefer to do it, because I don't know if you guys know, but McDonald's onions, those little dehydrated onions on the burgers are the bomb. So we kind of try to make it kind of similar to that because it really tastes like fast food for us if we do it that way. So just cut your onion. I'm doing half of my white onion because it's huge. Alright, now go ahead and just set the diced onion aside. We will saute that after the burgers are done. Alright, in a bowl we're going to go ahead and add the lean ground beef. I'm going to go ahead and add 1 egg because there's really no fat, so I'm going to go ahead and add that 1 egg. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of PANKO breadcrumbs. And this really helps bind these burgers and make them form very well and not fall apart, which is flour. Flour helps so much. And then we're going to add salt and pepper. And then I'm just going to toss this together with my hands and form my patties. And then we'll take it over to the burner and go ahead and cook up our patties. So I like my patties pretty thin. That's just the way I do it. I feel like they cook a lot better. Alright, and now we're just going to let them cook on each side until they're done. Usually that's around 4 to 5 minutes on each side. Alright, the burgers are done. Now we're going to go ahead and cook our white onions in the same pan. I add just a little bit of water, like a teaspoon of water, to just kind of help it get saucy and the stuff on the bottom of the pan from the burgers kind of melt down into the onions. And I'm just going to let this cook until the onions are done for about 5 minutes. And over here I have all the burgers resting with the cheese on top. It melts just sitting out like this. The cheese will melt onto the burger, and then we'll go ahead and assemble our patties. Smells so good. This seriously is one of the best dinners. If you're craving a cheesy burger or fast food, this is a great option. And I wanted to mention, you definitely don't have to do a lettuce wrap. I just honestly like lettuce wraps a lot. And I love the crunch, but you definitely could use a bun. You do not have to use a lettuce wrap. And also you could have this with a side of like homemade French fries or rice or corn or whatever you like. But for this video, I'm just going to be showing you the actual burger patty. And I eat it just like this for dinner. So I just added one of the burgers with the cheese on the lettuce. I'm adding 1 tomato, a spoonful of those onions, actually we'll do 2. 2 spoonfuls of the onion, and then I just like basic ingredients like ketchup, just a little bit of ketchup and yellow mustard. And there's 1, and we're gonna have 2 for dinner, so we're gonna do 1 more. So this is what they look like opened, and then I'll show you what they look like once I wrap them up. A little bit of garlic powder, actually a lot of it. And then this is optional. I just like to add a little bit of ground ginger. I feel like it tastes really good with salmon, so I'm just adding some ground ginger. And then I'm gonna go ahead and air fry this in the air fryer. I'm making a spicy mayo sauce, so for that I have 1 tablespoon of light mayonnaise and 1 teaspoon of sriracha sauce. And then add just a little bit of black pepper. And just a splash of soy sauce to thin it out. You just need very little. I'd say probably like half of a teaspoon. And then go ahead and mix that up. And then for the next sauce, this is actually going to be drizzled on top of the salmon. This is 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, and we're going to add 1 whole tablespoon of honey. And then give that a good mix together. And it makes the perfect sweet and salty sauce to pour onto the salmon once it's done air frying. I'm gonna go ahead and microwave my rice cups. I'm making 2 servings, so I'm gonna do 1 cup for me and 1 cup for my husband. And then last, go ahead and cut up any kind of veggies you wanna use. I'm doing celery. You could do cucumbers instead, but I do like celery for a nice crunch. I have some grated carrots and fresh cilantro. And then I'll also be topping it with some sesame seeds and nori paper. I'm adding the soy sauce mixed with honey to the salmon. I'm just adding a little bit onto this because it does kind of slide off, but I'm going to air fry it again for another 5 minutes and let it get nice and crispy with the sauce. So just make sure you don't use all the sauce, just use about half of it while the salmon's going to cook for an additional 5 minutes. So I'm just spooning out some of the sauce and placing it onto the salmon. Alright, you guys, here is my salmon bowl. This is how I like to eat it. I love the sauce. I love the veggies. I added some avocado. And this is gonna be our dinner. Okay, so for this kale turkey bean soup, we're gonna start with sauteing our garlic and onions. I'm adding some olive oil to my pressure cooker. I'm adding 4 cloves of garlic and 1/2 of a white onion. I'm gonna add some seasonings. I have some basil here. I'm gonna just probably add about 1 whole tablespoon of dried basil. I have some red pepper chili flakes. I'm going to add 1/2 of a teaspoon of red pepper chili flakes. I'm going to add some black pepper and sea salt. I'm also going to add 3 carrots that I cut. I did 3 long carrots and I did 3 celery stalks. We're gonna add that to the pot. And we're gonna let that saute for about 8 minutes and then we'll add some other ingredients to this pot. So just let this saute for about 8 minutes. Added the ground turkey and now I'm gonna let that cook for an additional 5 minutes. And I'm going to pressure cook for 35 minutes. Alright guys, I'm about to make my steak bowl. This is one of my favorite dinners to make. It's so fresh and so good, and it's really not hard to make at all, especially if you use the ingredients that I'm going to be showing you. It makes it a lot quicker and less time consuming. I'm using Spanish style Uncle Ben's ready rice, so this only takes 90 seconds to cook, and this really cuts down the time for this whole meal. So I'm gonna go ahead and microwave this for 90 seconds. And then I have some steak here that I seasoned with salt, pepper, garlic powder, and a little bit of red pepper chili flakes because I love spice. I just cut it in thin strips, and we're gonna cook this in a pan with a little bit of olive oil. And then once the steak is done cooking, I have 1 can of black beans rinsed and drained. We're gonna cook that in the pan that we cooked the steak in so that it adds some flavor. And then for toppings, I have avocado, tomato, and a purple onion. And then for the sauce, I have a bunch of cilantro, 2 garlic cloves. We're going to use the juice of 1 whole lime, and I have a tablespoon of olive oil, and we're going to blend that up together in a food processor, and that will be our yummy green sauce. And oh, and I actually add a little bit of sea salt to this as well. Add your cilantro and garlic cloves. We're going to add the juice of 1 whole lime. One tablespoon of olive oil. And a little bit of sea salt. All right, you guys, we are gonna go ahead and assemble our bowl. First thing I'm adding is lettuce. I chopped up some lettuce really thin. We're gonna add some tomatoes, some purple onions. I have 2.5 ounces of steak I'm gonna add that I weighed out. 30 grams of avocado. Half a cup of the Spanish rice. Half a cup of the black beans. And then we're gonna add the green sauce. And this makes 2 servings. So you just add your bites, points, whatever you do. You just add that up individually for yourself. Like with the rice and everything and the avocado, you just kind of pick what you want. But the sauce does serve 2 people. Top it with a little bit of sea salt. And there you have dinner, a delicious filling steak bowl. Alright, for the next recipe, we're going to be making a KFC bowl. This is one of the easiest dinners, I think, in this whole video. It's so easy. I'm just using the spicy chicken tenders from Cauliflower. We're going to be using a little bit of corn, some fat-free cheddar cheese, and then I'm using a microwavable container of mashed potatoes. That's for 1 serving. We're going to be making some brown gravy, and then we'll top it with just some sea salt and pepper. So I'm going to go ahead and just microwave the corn and mashed potatoes, make the gravy on the side. I just make it in a pot based off the instructions on the back. And then we're going to air fry the tenders, and then I'll assemble the bowl. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And if you make it at home yourself and you have Instagram, please tag me. I love seeing you guys recreate these recipes and just giving me overall feedback on the recipes. I always appreciate that so much. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.